Man, it's pretty cold where I am right now, which is in my garage. Had to get away from the noisy environment of my house. Man, I went over the recording for the first episode, and I was talking about how noisy my house was, right? And I went over the recording and you can barely hear any background noise, which was great. The only reason I'm in my garage now is because my family's there. Or not in my garage, in my house, which is why I had to get away from the house. You get it. Let's start the show. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. This is Before the Bell with me, Albert Orange. Oh yeah, we're getting started. This is the second episode, and I'm recording this on Sunday. And hopefully I can get this episode done and edited today, within the coming hours, so I can release both episodes on the same day at the same exact time, if possible, which would be Monday, starting midnight tonight. So literally when Sunday ends and Monday comes around, that's when I'll release both episodes. Midnight. You know? Like when the clock strikes 12, I don't have to explain that. But yeah, happy 2021. The bar is low. The bar is certainly low. I don't know when we started blaming our problems on years, but it's been a pretty shitty year. So let's give 2021 a chance. All right. It's been a crazy year last year. I think it started out fine. And then we almost got into World War III because that one guy from Iran was assassinated. I think it was like a nuclear scientist or something like that. And I think towards the end of January, right, we got word of this new Wuhan virus. You remember that? The Wuhan virus, they called it. You remember all those photos of the entire city of Wuhan, China, in lockdown? There's nobody in the streets. Everyone's in camps dealing with this virus because somebody ate a bat. And then what happened? I think the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in early February. And then this COVID thing started spreading. Us in the US were like, it's never gonna come here. We were so innocent. Then came March. And I think in March, that's when we saw the first death. The first COVID death, I think it was in Seattle, right? And then from there, it just went downhill. All the schools were closed. Everyone got fired, furloughed, displaced. All the toilet paper went missing. Everyone was in complete, it was as if the zombies were coming, except there were no zombies. It was just a virus. The invisible enemy, they called it. I don't understand the whole toilet paper thing. I mean, look, it kind of makes sense at first glance. Because when you have toilet paper, You have something to rely on. You have, first of all, you have its main use, which is to wipe. But toilet paper, I mean, it can be used for so many other things, right? It can be used for uh, it can be used as tissue paper, right? It can be used as facial tissues, you know. So in case you have a mental breakdown and start crying, you have toilet paper to support you. Or, you know, if you have, I don't know, a mental breakdown and you start urinating yourself, then you have something to clean up the urine with, right? It makes sense. I don't know if I'm using the term mental breakdown correctly. I want to be somewhat politically correct on this podcast. If I'm not using it correctly, well, then just take the term, what should I say instead of mental breakdown? I don't know. It seems like a fitting word. I can't think of any other word to replace mental breakdown. Maybe just breakdown. Why bring mental into it? Come on. Get your head in the game. Anyways, after the whole toilet paper craze, the wipeout, as I like to call it, what happened after that? Well, all the schools were closed, and yeah, which was fun for a while. It was fun, but it kind of sucked. I mean, I was still in high school when it happened, and well, I kind of missed it. I kind of missed school, and I knew I was gonna miss school because, well, I like school, but I also like being with people and seeing people every day. I liked going through shitty classes together. And then because of COVID, that all ended. So then I actually had to go online, you know? Which was not fun. It was not fun at all. Oh God, you hear that? Some guy was just pulling out of my neighborhood in like some sort of tank. But anyways, you remember all those videos of people in Italy singing out of their balconies? That looked fun. Not gonna lie to you. I think it was in Italy. It was people having like these crazy raves from their balconies. Everyone would bring like just music. They would sing. There was a light show. You remember those? And that looked fun. And meanwhile, here in the US, we were worrying about whether masks are a good way to protect yourself. And some people thought they didn't work. Others thought, you know, hey, maybe the science will show us the way. Maybe we should listen to the scientists, to the experts. Now, I'll admit, you know, I thought masks were stupid. At first, I thought they were pointless. I didn't want to put a piece of fabric over my mouth, my nose, my breathing holes. I was one of those people, I'll admit. But, you know, time went on and, you know, I thought Do I want to be associated with a crowd who believes in the science, who not only protects themselves but also protects others in doing so? Or do I want to associate myself with the crowd who gets caught on video, well, actually takes the video of being turned away from Costco because they felt their rights were oppressed, quote unquote oppressed? I thought, you know what, I'm a believer in science. I think I'll go with the masks. They're annoying. I still don't like them. But you get used to them, you know? They're not that bad, is what I'm saying. So yeah. And then what happened? I think it started dying down, I think in the summer. The summer kind of sucked, but you know. I don't like summers anyways. I think they're overrated. This summer. Ooh. Who likes that? And then, yeah, it started dying down. And then it got colder. Oh man, it's like Russians during the winter, huh? Like the Russian army during the winter. You know what I'm talking about? Like I know when in World War II, the Germans started their offense on Russia, and they were doing extremely well. Like they pushed all the way to Moscow. I mean, they were beating the Russians. The thing is that winter came around and Hitler got so arrogant. All of the German tanks, they started freezing up. The oil couldn't be, the oil was frozen. The tanks had nothing to run on. The horses started getting cold. The men were not well equipped or experienced to fight in the cold, but the Russians were. And the Russians freaking beat them all the way to Berlin. I think that's how it went. I don't know. That's more or less the gist. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. COVID is like the Russians. It comes into play in the winter. That's when it's strongest. It's not good for us, obviously, but that's what happened. And I think now it's the worst that it's ever been. I mean, the hospitals are overrun. It's March all over again, right? You remember every night it would be on the news, it would say, these hospitals are overrun, right? This many new cases this week. It's the same thing now. It is worse than it's ever been. So yeah, it was a shit year. I don't know when people started blaming all their problems, as I said, on the year, but seems kind of fitting. Man, it is cold in this garage. So yeah, that's the year in review. Oh, and on top of that, we got this new COVID strain in the UK, and I haven't read up on it yet, but hopefully it can be treated by the vaccine, right? I don't know, man. If this new UK strain just starts fucking shit up again, then maybe that will already define 2021. So don't get your hopes up, people, because it's coming. COVID has mutated, evolved, and it's not going away anytime soon. So keep wearing those masks. Keep getting tested. Keep those vaccines going. Moderna, Pfizer. I don't know which one is better for the COVID. Moderna, Pfizer. I mean, Germans, they know how to make stuff. They can't beat the Russians in the snow, but they can make stuff. They can make cars. They can make bread. They can make Wurst, Bratwurst. They can't farm. That's why they trade with the French. You know? But they can make steel. I'm sure they can make vaccines, right? I don't know. But yeah, anyways. Let's hope, whatever works, right? Whichever vaccine works. I don't know which one has more efficacy. But if it works, hey. If it works, it works. So yeah, that's the year in review. Ooh yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to review the year. Remind everyone of all the horrors that we went through. The wipeout. And we're still going through it, but, you know, we're still here. The ones who still made it. You know, as long as you're still eating and still sleeping, you're alright. Hey, speaking of mutants, I saw Logan the other day. You remember that movie? Logan, the Wolverine film, starring Hugh Jackman. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was in Spanish. It was in Spanish because, you know, we saw it on the TV, on the Spanish-speaking channel. There's these two Spanish-speaking channels that we watch. It's Telemundo and Univision. And they both play big movies. Like, I've seen Titanic, I think Twilight, a Harry Potter movie, but all in Spanish. All dubbed in Spanish. That's what these immigrant channels are doing to our country. But yeah, I saw Logan. Well, at least part of it. It was a good movie. It got me interested in seeing the X-Men movies. I've heard about those. I was never really interested. But yeah, I saw today that Disney Plus had they released a few X-Men movies like a few days ago. And I saw that, and I just saw the first X-Men movie. And it was good. I liked it. It was made in the year 2000, starring Hugh Jackman again, but also starring what's the guy's name? Patrick Stewart. He played the guy in the wheelchair. They were really good actors, not gonna lie to you. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing in my weekend. Anyways, I've got a New Year's resolution. I originally wasn't gonna make a New Year's resolution because I don't believe they work. But I'm starting out small, alright? That's what you gotta do. You can't just say, I'm gonna go to the gym starting New Year's Day and for the rest of my life. You can't go from one lifestyle to another, right? So I'm starting out small. I'm leaving Instagram and Twitter alone. I'm leaving it out. I'm limiting myself to about an hour a day. 'Cause I'm addicted, man. I'm addicted. I can't seem to know when to stop, when to slow down. So yeah, I'm leaving Instagram and Twitter out, and I'm replacing the time that I usually take with social media. I'm replacing that with reading. There is this, I think, how long is it? There's this book that I have. It's 1,180 pages long. Something like that. It is a collection of pretty much all the Sherlock Holmes books, all compiled into one book, one Bible. Yeah, it's pretty intense. And I'm actually starting out. Well, I actually bought it like a few years ago, but I never really got around to reading it because it just seemed like such a big book that I just can't really. I don't know. It just seemed too much for me, right? And so, yeah, I just never really got around to reading it, but I started reading it. Started really getting into the first book. As I said, it's a collection of books. It's literally the Sherlock Holmes Bible. You know how the Bible is really just a collection of books? That's what this Sherlock Holmes book is. It's just books all combined into one. So I'm starting out with the first Sherlock Holmes story, which is it's good so far. It talks about Mormons. So if you want to know how Mormons and Sherlock Holmes could possibly be related, then you should read A Study in Scarlet. That's the title of the first book. I'm reading a chapter a day. I'm not reading for 20 pages a day. I'm not reading 50 pages a day. I'm starting out small, as I said. You know? So, yeah, that's my resolution. I'm also, right, so I have 3. It's putting away social media, start reading a chapter a day, and it's also just going to sleep on my own, right? That's a big one. Because what I used to do, right, I used to go to bed and I'd get out my phone, start watching a few YouTube videos until I fall asleep. Then I'd wake up the next morning just feeling weird, just feeling like so tired and so just, I don't know, man. Just not really feeling as good as I could be, you know? But man, starting January 1st. Starting January 1st because I went to sleep at around 1 o'clock in the morning on January 1st. I got to sleep and I put the phone away half an hour before I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning just feeling great, just feeling better, you know? And I've been doing that every day since, which is not that much. I mean, it's Sunday, January 3rd. But yeah, I plan to keep doing that, to keep putting the phone away, just in general, you know? So yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. It's going good so far, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm not going to quit watching YouTube, you know? Like, I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to look at Instagram. Still going to look at them memes every once in a while. I'm still going to look at Twitter, see what's trending. I'm still going to do all of those things, but I'm not going to do it for 3 hours straight, which is an exaggeration, but it pretty much feels like what I've been doing. So, yeah. That's my resolution. I hope anyone listening to this follows through with your New Year's resolution. That's assuming if anyone is listening. Oh, man. I'm launching this podcast tonight at midnight. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to release a new episode every week starting Monday. I'm going to release these first 2 episodes tonight, midnight, and then from there, an episode every Monday. That's the plan. Alright, I think I'm going to go. This garage is cold, and I kind of have to piss. I don't know if you've been hearing this throughout the entire recording, but this, I literally chose the worst place to sit on. It's a leather couch that I have in my garage. We have a lot of stuff here in my garage, but we have this giant leather couch which has been making noise throughout the entire time that I've been sitting here. I can never really get an adequate time, an adequate space for recording this podcast. I can never catch a break. That's becoming my life. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna take that piss, and hope everyone has a great January, great week, and a great 2021. Let's go take that piss. Goodbye. This has been Before the Bell with me, Albert Orange. Thank you for wasting your time with me.